I almost skipped writing a review for this movie, but I just couldn't get it out of my head. I thought it was pretty bad for its majority. It was slow, full of overused themes and ideas, riddled with jump scares, but mainly, it was just slow. Now, I'm not going to go really in depth with this one, but it does have one thing about it that I gotta give it credit for. The Boy is the story of Brahms, son of the Hillshires, an elderly couple who live in an enormous brick mansion. You know, the kind you only see in these kinds of horror movies. What makes Brahms so special? Nothing. He's a fucking doll. Normally, I wouldn't have even clicked on this kind of movie, but for whatever reason, I found myself watching a trailer, and like 20 seconds in, I thought, damn, maybe there could be something to this. So I just stopped the trailer because I'm sick of trailers ruining shit for me, and I just went and watched it. So Brahms is a doll, and for whatever reason, the Hillshires believe him to be a real boy. They treat him as if he's alive, even if they have to physically move him around themselves, and they even have a list of rules that must be followed when taking care of him, which all other nannies have failed to follow. So when the boy opens, we meet Greta, who's on her way to interview for the job, basically, and the Hillshires aren't there at the moment, so while she's sitting around waiting for him, she ends up meeting Malcolm, the grocery boy, who just really annoys me.
Grocery man, you know. I am the shop, actually.
He gives her a small tour of the house, but he basically just flirts with her.
I'm afraid that was my best attempt at flirting. Believe it or not, I'm actually considered charming in this country.
Now, the Hillshires arrive soon after, and they introduce her to Brahms, which cracks her up, thinking it's all a big joke, but the faces of them say otherwise. Well, this is awkward. So Malcolm comes into the room a minute later, seemingly playing right along with whatever the hell is going on, and this throws her for a loop, I guess, and realizing they're dead fucking serious, she goes for the introduction.
It's so nice to meet you, Brahms. I hope that you and I can be friends.
So Miss Hillshire starts detailing instructions for her, what time he should go to bed, how to dress him.
You'll find his clean clothes behind you.
And she's real bitchy about it, too.
I'd let her do it herself, but I'm afraid we'd be here all afternoon.
It just keeps getting crazier. She's got to play music for him at certain times, as well as read to him. Blah, blah, blah. Now, eventually, the Hillshires leave. It's just Greta and Brahms, and good God, does this movie get boring and tedious. It does what hundreds of other movies have done before it. Things move.
No offense, Brahms, but you kind of creep me out.
She hears sounds. She walks around in the fucking dark forever. And then this bullshit happens. Jesus Christ, a fucking dream. It had to have a dream scene in it. So then she thinks the damn doll is crying, but he was positioned just in the chair so that some leaking water from the ceiling, from the roof fell down. Hit him right there. You really got me, movie. You got me. Here and there, Malcolm shows up and tells her a bit more about Brahms, that apparently he died in a fire, and this is why the Hillshires are fucking weird.
No way to cope. I can't imagine what it must be like to lose a child.
It is something way more than weird when you have a goddamn doll with a porcelain face that you treat as your living son. Whatever, Malcolm just doesn't really matter. Every time he's on screen, he just irritates me. I think it's his accent.
Might be good to get out. I could show you the world-famous local nightlife.
I wanted to tell you something, but
I mean, I know technically you're not supposed to leave Brahms, but I won't tell if you won't.
I seem to be so charmingly befuddled.
So after wasting even more time when she calls her sister and moans about all the money she's making for this cake of a job, we get even more stupid cliched scenes as more shit moves around. She gets out of the shower, realizes that her dress and necklace are gone, so then she just fucking walks around the house all slow and afraid like you've seen a billion dumb characters do in a billion dumb horror movies. And it takes fucking forever. She makes her way up to the attic. The door closes behind her. Malcolm shows up to take her out on a date that they set up in a scene I skipped because who fucking cares?
Oh my God, I'm here!
Of course he can't hear her yelling, so he just leaves. And then, for the love of fucking God, she thinks that she sees somebody up there with her. The next day, she wakes up and realizes what she saw wasn't a person.
Oh, God.
The fucking door mysteriously opens. And then Malcolm comes by, checks everything out for her because she's afraid.
I bet no one's been out there for years. What on earth compelled you?
It goes nowhere.
Well, that's one mystery solved.
The two have even more meaningless moments together playing snooker, I think? I don't know, that's a big fucking pool table otherwise.
And Mr. Hilscher, I get the courage to ask him that exact question. What was Brahms, the real Brahms, like?
Yeah, he tells us a little bit more about the family, but I just don't care.
Odd, he says. Odd.
It's not like that. He didn't have to come over here and check the whole house.
More phone time with his sister. I don't care. After a bunch of more slow-ass scenes that do nothing but try to keep you in suspense, but you're really just like, get the fuck on with it, you won't even fucking believe what happens. I almost quit the movie here. Do you blame me? Jesus. When the fuck did she fall asleep? How much of what I just saw was a dream? Does this movie have any logic? A minute or so later, she freaks the fuck out when she sees Brahms sitting upright on the bed with his list of rules next to him, and after getting the weird phone call, hello? You know, every fucking horror movie has these in them now too. Now there's footsteps outside the door, knocking, the sound of a child's voice. Now she opens the door eventually for whatever reason and finds a goddamn sandwich. I want to laugh so fucking bad. You see, earlier in the movie, I just left this out because who fucking cares? She made a sandwich and she fell asleep and she didn't eat it all. So now Brahms has left her a sandwich at the door. You know, because he understands her. So now she's mentally unstable, if she ever was fucking stable, and heads back to his room with some newfound understanding of him. In the next scene, more questions arise as we find the Hillshires have decided to drown themselves after writing a note to Brahms asking God to forgive them all and telling him that the girl is his now. Am I supposed to care? I don't care. So now Greta is all loving to Brahms, following orders to the letter and seemingly enjoying every minute of it. And eventually Malcolm shows up trying to get her to go out on another date with him. Big fucking surprise. She rejects him for the moment, so he leaves, and she tries to talk to Brahms, tries to feed him, tries to figure out if he's real or not. Losing her goddamn mind, she asks the spirit living in the house to give her a sign, and when she leaves the room for a moment, she returns to find Brahms gone. Of course, he fucking moved when we couldn't see it. So now she drags Malcolm back out here again, trying to convince him that Brahms is alive, and she surprisingly manages to do this when he too hears the sounds of footsteps and finds the doll has moved places. Oh, the two of them have more moments together, and it's just fucking boring.
Yeah, he is.
She's all crazy and treating Brahms like a real boy, kissing goodnight like the rules say. And the movie continues to waste even more time with more spooky shit happening in another room where the camera isn't. This time the music turns itself on. Malcolm continues to be the voice of exposition in this story, just laying out more and more of the Hillshire's dark history, but I really don't give a shit.
Please call the Hilshers to let them know that Brahms would need to be questioned, and by the time they arrived, the place was already up in flames.
I don't want to bore you with it either. Spooky shit and a fire, that's about all you need to know. So after even more wasted time seeing the same things, Greta cares for Brahms. Her ex shows up, and just look at this guy. God, he is so out of her league. I'm gonna spare you a lot of this. He's an abusive jerk. She's afraid of him. He wants her to come back with him. She doesn't want to go with him. That's pretty much it. Malcolm shows up, and he's suspicious of him, thinking that he's been banging Greta, which he has, but that's none of his goddamn business, right? So after a message painted in blood appears, obviously meant for him, he loses his shit.
Give me the doll.
No.
Give me the doll. Greta?
The only good thing about this asshole is he does what Audrey and I wanted to do for the last hour and 10 minutes. He fucking smashes Brahms. And I don't mean like he just kind of smashes him. Like full on, goddamn swinging by the legs, crazy as a maniac, golf swings this son of a bitch right into the chair. Thank God someone did it. Immediately after, the lights start flickering and, a bunch of scary shit is happening. So you'd think the movie is going the route of every other movie like this, spirits or something. But then finally, we get to something that I really didn't expect. Giacomo puts his ear up to a mirror, hearing something in the walls behind it, and when it explodes outward, revealing a hole in the wall behind it, what crawls out confused me at first. I was like, oh my god, the fucking doll came to life. Are you serious? And then I went, holy shit, Brahms has been alive this whole time? Now, as stupid as I thought this movie was, I actually greatly appreciate they took this approach with it. It explains so many things. Like this, for example.
Whatever it might look like on the outside, our son is here. He's very much with us.
So all the shit that moved around earlier has a reason now, and it's not quite as dumb suddenly. Look, I hesitate to say that this is awesome because it's not awesome, but I 100% expected this all the way through to be a goddamn haunted doll story. Unoriginal as fuck. Brahms kills the butthole boyfriend, good. And even if the rest of the film plays out exactly as you'd expect, you know, Greta and Malcolm on the run, nothing really special, still coming off of the shock of Brahms being alive makes it easier to digest. They discover his room, her dress, the letter from his parents, they put all the pieces together.
He's been living in the walls the whole time watching me. They knew that he would do this, they knew that he would get it.
Let's wrap this shit up. Greta escapes to the outside world as Malcolm turned back to try and stop Brahms. How heroic. And you know he's not dead. Now once outside, she grows a big old pair of balls and decides to run back and starts ordering Brahms around, manipulating him in his feeble mind.
Brahms, I said it's time for bed.
So she puts him to bed, and he gets angry that he doesn't get his good night kiss, so he starts getting a little heavy with his petting. She whips out her little weapon that she was hiding in her waistband, stabs him, he throws her against the wall, and she stabs him again. Why they never kill the bad guy in these movies, I will never understand. She pulls Malcolm out of the walls. I told you he was still alive. And they drive off together, leaving us with a final shot of the house and Brahms, still alive apparently, and putting the doll back together. This movie was not that good, okay? It really was not that good. It was unoriginal as fuck, had a lot of cliches in it, the stuff I've seen before. It was slow, it had shitty pacing, it was boring at times. I didn't care about the characters. But I do give this movie credit for not 100% wussing out and going with the tried and true, oh, the doll's haunted, we don't have to fucking make it do anything because it's a spirit, you know? They actually tried. They fooled me. You know? I mean, yeah, maybe some of you saw it coming. I just wasn't that invested in it, and I wasn't trying to think critically about it to fucking begin with. I was just like, okay, it's gonna be a haunted fucking doll story. So, you know, I was prepared for that. And I think that's what helped me just appreciate it a little more than I thought I was going to. So, I don't know. I'd recommend this movie, surprisingly. This is the kind of movie that a lot of people would like. And they wouldn't have cared even if it was just a haunted doll story. So, you know, if you like the light horror movies, the not too deep serious where you don't have to think, then you'll probably enjoy this. You know, give it a go, even if I just spoil most of it for you, because it's unique. I guess. It's kind of unique. Fuck, I don't know, man. 2 days later, I'm still talking about the damn thing, so I guess that says something.
Next time on Metal Retro Reviews.
You pick this movie up, you read the back of it, and you think, all right, we're going to get a goofy Adam Sandler movie.
It looks like a tongue licking.
But no, you start getting a serious fucking movie.
Grandpa died, Dad.
Where was